Good morning everyone. This is Kamikawa Kaolin. This time, we will answer the request of Curry 3 Momo. South Korea's vicious anti-Japanese propaganda that repeats unforgivable fabrications. There is no time to list this. In Japan, which will celebrate the Tokyo Olympic year on January 6, 2020, the creation of the Olympic poster reminiscent of radioactive contamination is a new event in our memory. In South Korea, anti-Japanese acts that are unthinkable in common sense are carried out on a daily basis. In 2020, in Japan, the whole country will appeal the Reconstruction Olympics and end the damage caused by rumors. I was struggling with that. South Korea, on the contrary, is afraid and spreads completely unfounded rumors. It turned Japan and the Japanese into enemies. The poster in question is the emblem of the Tokyo Olympics. The letters, Tokyo 2020, and the Hinamaru are displayed. A person in a white protective suit. It is designed to run with a green torch as if it were an image of radioactivity. I created a private organization that claims to be a Korean cyber diplomatic mission. It is said to be VANK, Voluntary Agency Network of Korea. About the organization, cyber terrorist group that can be said to be the headquarter of the Japan Discount Movement, it is said that, although it is said to be a private organization, the Korean government is actually investing public money. It is clear that this Radioactivity Olympics campaign is also a national policy. According to various reports, the poster is on the fence at the planned construction site of the Japanese embassy in Seoul. It was pasted on the afternoon of January 6 and is now being removed. Also, VANK has been in the past post a video claiming, Rising Sun flag equals war criminal flag, on YouTube, requesting a change in the notation of Sea of Japan to Tokai in textbooks and maps of each country. We are continuing a relentless anti-Japanese movement. This is not the only attitude of South Korea that has fueled Japan's reputational damage. At the International Atomic Energy Agency (IAEA) General Assembly last September, South Korea talks about treated water at TEPCO's Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power station. Fear and anxiety are spreading around the world, he said. In response to a statement from the South Korean side, Secretary of State Yoshihide Suga said at a press conference, "It is extremely regrettable that it may cause unprovoked reputational damage to our country." Said. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe held a Japan-Korea summit meeting with President Moon in Chengdu, China on December 24, last year. The amount of radioactive material contained in the water discharged from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant is less than 1/100th of the wastewater from the nuclear power plant in South Korea. It encouraged discussions based on scientific grounds. Mr. Moon could not refute this at all. Regarding this matter, the Embassy of Japan in Korea is on the website. We have also announced the radiation doses in Fukushima City, Iwaki City, Tokyo, and Seoul. Fukushima Prefecture, the area affected by the Great East Japan earthquake, is currently publishing scientific data. We are working hard to eliminate the damage caused by the rumors of the nuclear accident. The actions of the South Korean government and VANK are unforgivable and discourage the efforts of these affected areas. Shortly after the IAEA General Assembly, the ruling party of South Korea and the Democratic Party of Korea's Special Committee on Countermeasures Against Japanese Economic Invasion, Radioactive Contamination Map, has been released. Also at this time, Chief Cabinet Secretary Suga again, we are paying close attention to movements that promote unprovoked reputational damage. I am complaining at the press conference. In addition, SANSPO.com pointed out that the map may be a forgery. It is said that the map was created based on the figures on the website, Mina no Data site. The site side responded to the coverage of Sankey Sports. We have posted the data on our homepage and published a book. It's completely different from the Korean side, he answered. I think we used data that is convenient for us. However, South Korea has continued to regulate the import of Japanese food products after the nuclear accident. What is clear in this case is these slanderous injuries did not result from personal resentment or hatred of WW2. It means that slanderous defamation to Japan is used as a political tool. By demeaning the Japanese side, they just want to mount. The trouble is pretending to be a personal activity the government is subsidizing or withdrawing from the activity. There is no doubt that it is one of the systematic Japanese demeaning activities that pretends to be personal activities. Let's say the conclusion first. 1. The South Korean nuclear power plant releases tritium-contaminated water into the Sea of Japan. The amount is more than 8 times that of Japan. Korea is allowed to release it, but Fukushima is not allowed to release it, he insists. You said, romance if you do it, affair if others do it. South Korea's criticism of Japan does not convince the world at all. 2. South Korea's basic strategy for Japan is propaganda, which gives a bad image to the Tokyo Olympics. Label the radioactive Olympics, and put pressure on the Japanese government. If you don't like it, revive the whitelist. Isn't this the true intention of Korea? 3. Korean Sport and Olympic Committee, agricultural products from Fukushima used at the Tokyo Olympics may be contaminated with radioactivity. He demanded that he be in tune with other countries, but all countries ignored it. The Rising Sun flag ban was also rejected by the IOC on a case-by-case basis. There is nothing in South Korea's claim that is in tune with the world. Let's look at the reality. Radiation doses in Japan and South Korea are published daily on the internet. See here for radiation levels in South Korea. Please see here for the radiation dose in Japan. It is published in 2 places. Japan NHK. Japan Nuclear Regulation Authority. Air dose rate in each city is as follows: unit, microsievert per hour. Seoul equals 0.125, Tokyo equals 0.036, Fukushima City equals 0.130, Busan equals 0.090, Beijing equals 0.072, New York equals 0.045, Paris equals 0.043, London equals 0.105. In reality, natural radiation in Seoul is more than 3 times that in Tokyo, about the same as in Fukushima. However, when viewed from the normal range, 0.05 to 0.23 unit, microsievert, it's not a problematic number. However, there are various speculations about the high radiation dose in Seoul. There are many granites that generate radon on the Korean peninsula. Nuclear power plants in South Korea are concentrated in the suburbs of Jeongju on the Sea of Japan side, where there are many earthquakes. The amount of radiation contained in the asphalt raw material is high. Radioactive substances are mixed in the cement on the outer wall. Unauthorized dumping of nuclear waste. Illegal dumping in the Sea of Japan or dumping in a park. By a nuclear test in North Korea or by the Hirayama uranium factory around the tributary of the Raisong River, the West Sea may be contaminated. Chosun Ilbo, the 17th of August 2019, it is said that about tritiated water, what is called contaminated water in Fukushima is now called Alps treated water. Although it contains tritium, it removes most of the radioactive material and what is contaminated water immediately after the accident with only cesium removed. It's a big difference in terms of safety, and there seems to be a misunderstanding about the tritiated water, After setting the standard value properly, the final release to the ocean is carried out all over the world. The only treatment of tritiated, contaminated water, is to release it into the ocean in accordance with international treaties. The method of discharging treated water into the sea is a common sense of nuclear power plants in the world. Nuclear power plants around the world emit tritium. Emission standard values, unit, TBQ equals terabecquerel, have been determined. Emission control target value per power plant equals 7.4 TBQ to 290 TBQ per year. Regulated concentration standard equals 60,000 becquerels per liter. Annual tritium emissions from nuclear power plants around the world. Japan, Fukushima nuclear power plant equals about 22 TBQ 2010 before the accident. Korea, Wolsong nuclear power plant equals approximately 17 TBQ 2016. Kori nuclear power plant equals approximately 36 TBQ. Nuclear power plants in South Korea are concentrated in the suburbs of Jeongju on the north side of Busan, on the Sea of Japan side. If a meltdown occurs in South Korea, it will have a huge impact on Kyushu and Shikoku depending on the wind direction. USA, Diablo Canyon nuclear power plant equals approximately 51 TBQ, 2002, Callaway nuclear power plant equals about 42 TBQ, Canada, Bruce A. B. nuclear power plant equals about 892 TBQ, 2015, Darlington nuclear power plant equals approximately 241 TBQ, UK, Hayshambi nuclear power plant equals about 390 TBQ, 2015, Sellafield reprocessing facility equals approximately 1,540 TBQ, France, La Argue reprocessing facility equals approximately 13,700 TBQ, 2015. Looking at the above comparisons, Japan's emissions are not at all problematic levels. In Japan, we are also developing innovative technologies that can remove the tritium itself. Tritiated water can be separated. Kindai University develops equipment. Japan is a country that overcomes difficulties with innovative technology. Nuclear power plants around the world emit tritium, and I want South Korea to correct its actions before demeaning Japan. In South Korea, various problems have been pointed out. According to the 2016 White Paper on Nuclear Power Generation, pages 298 to 300, of the Korean Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy, MOSI, South Korea emits 191 trillion becquerels of tritium annually. It was found that even gas released 196 trillion becquerels. 2015. Korea Atomic Energy Research Institute discharges radioactive waste without permission. In addition, South Korea is worried about the following points. Radioactive pollutants drain from North Korea. South Korea desperately attacks Japan without knowing that its country is polluted. Radiation criticism of Japan is merely to politically deprecate Japan. Can't you understand that it's a replacement of the story? Take a look at the actual state of tritium emissions in South Korea. Annual tritium release from Wolsong nuclear power station. It has been halved since 2010 due to the introduction of tritium recovery equipment and the shutdown of some reactors. Until 2009, it was over 400 terabecquerels. Even if you look only after October 1999, when you entered the 4-unit system, so far, we have released more than 6,000 tritium in total. The total amount of tritium stored at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant is 760 terabecquerels as of March 2016, so the cumulative emission of the Wolsong nuclear power station is about 8 times that amount. Moreover, the release destination is the Sea of Japan. Is South Korea really a country with freedom of the press? Even though South Korea is dripping tritium, isn't it embarrassing to criticize Japan? Do you know how terrible North Korea is? North Korea is dripping uranium. Next to that is South Korea. Do you understand this danger? As I say many times, for South Korea, this is a great opportunity to spread the bad image of Japan to the world. It's just making a fuss like taking the head of a demon. The Blue House is a retaliation card that excludes the whitelist. It's just politically using Japan's unfortunate nuclear accident. Did you understand the above explanation? The Japanese and the world, you must be careful not to be fooled by Korean lies. That's all.